Shanti. SpARC audiobook. Avyakt stage. Avyakt Murli date 5/12/1974. What is the Avyakt meaning? To become the same as the one you are meeting. So, to have an Avyakt meeting means to adopt an Avyakt form, the same as the fathers. Avyakt means where there is no feeling of the corporeal. Have you become like this? Have you created a stage where there isn't the slightest attraction towards the physical country, the physical body, or physical things? The first promise you made is, I listen to you and I speak to you. You have to fill this place. First promise, but unless you stabilize yourself in the Avyakt or the incorporeal stage for the whole day and night, would you be able to experience being with Bap Dada? That is, would you be able to fulfill your promise? Throughout the whole day, for how long do you fulfill this promise? Whomsoever you are going to meet, you have to create your own stage according to their stage and meet them at their place. You have to change both your place and your stage, for only then will you be able to fulfill this promise. To have corporeal feelings or to have feelings of devotion for any person or any object, whereby you feel that this is very much loved or very good. To have this feeling for any physical object or bodily person is also like a desire. And as long as you have any desires, you are unable to oppose Maya completely. As long as you cannot oppose her, you cannot become equal, Saman. That is, you cannot fulfill your promise. In the pictures, Krishna has been portrayed as sitting on the globe of the world. So create such an image of your practical stage to go beyond this corporeal world and this old body. To go beyond corporeal feelings and physical objects means to be standing over them as a detached observer. When the globe is shown under someone's feet or someone is shown sitting on the globe, that is a portrayal of the mastery or right over the world. Therefore, create such an image of yourself where you only come into this old world from the Avyakt to the Vyakt according to your own desires or on the basis of thoughts created by your own self and not as a result of being subservient to the attraction of physical objects or people. When you take the lift up, the switch is under your own control as to whether you go to the first floor or the second floor. What is the result when the switch is beyond your control? You get stuck in between. In the same way, keep the switch of your consciousness under your own control. Have you claimed such rights whereby you are able to set your place and stage how you want, when you want, and for as long as you want? Have you attained victory over time? Kal means time. Are you victorious over time? If the Pandav army and the Shakti army only attain this stage at the end, then the power of silence is lower than the power of science, because science has already conquered these elements. In the exhibition, you show pictures of how Ravan conquered the 5 elements, and time is shown as one of those elements. Since science, which is the power of Ravan, has conquered the elements quite a lot, then it means science is more powerful than you, doesn't it? The power of science is proving this in practice. Will the power of silence show its proof at the end? To conquer time means to conquer death. The percentage of this is very low at the moment. Although you stabilize yourself in the incorporeal stage and the Avyakt stage, you are not able to stabilize yourself in that stage for as long as you want. You have the experience of that stage. You even work hard for it, but you are still not able to conquer time. What is the reason for this? You think that you will sit in powerful remembrance for half an hour. You even sit for half an hour and also create plans, but you are not able to stabilize yourself in that stage for as long as the time you spend in thinking about that stage. You have the thought to push the button for the third floor, but because you haven't conquered time, you are only able to reach the second floor, the first floor or the ground floor. This is because throughout the day you have the practice of wasting a lot of time. By paying attention to the wasteful, you will become powerful and successful in attaining victory over time. As long as you waste a lot of time, you will not be powerful and successful in attaining victory over time. This is why you are not able to experience the meeting or fulfill the promise that you want to. So now, create your image of fortune, of constantly being victorious over all the elements and over time. Only when you change every second from wasteful to powerful will you be victorious. Acha. Avyakt Murli date 30/1/1975. What one deep desire or thought that are all of you now sitting in? To invoke the Father and to celebrate a meeting of the Father with the children. Since you are able to invoke the Almighty Authority Father with love and determined thought, are you not able to invoke any particular power that you feel you yourself may be lacking or weak in? Since with the power of love, with the power of having claimed all rights, and with the power of a close relationship with Him, you are able to make Baba become corporeal from Avyakt just through remembrance. In the same way, are you not able to invoke every power and make yourself Avyakt from corporeal? Since it is easy to bring the Father into the corporeal from the Avyakt, why is it difficult to make yourself Avyakt? The stories of the old days are very well known. As soon as you clap, everything or any person appears in front of you, or angels reveal themselves. This story of angels is very well known. To whom do these stories refer? Who are the angels of knowledge and the angels who fly in the three worlds? You consider yourselves to be those, do you not? You have both the wings of knowledge and remembrance. Do you not? You are able to reach the incorporeal world from the corporeal world in 1 second with the power of knowledge and remembrance. That is, with these wings, are you not? Do you angels know how to clap so that whenever, whatever power you need, the moment you have the thought or invoke it, you become embodiments of that power? Have you become such angels whose memorial is remembered every cycle? The effort of the present time should be of 1 second. Only then would it be said that the speed of the self and of time are the same. This is known as being fast or having the first stage. At the confluence age, you need all the powers under your control. You should have all powers as your weapons so that you are able to use them whenever you want. Do you understand? Acha. Avyakt Murli date 10/12/1978. Your stage should be such that you experience a corporeal body to be in the angelic form. You saw Baba in the subtle form. Although he had a corporeal body, you experienced that body to be angelic and subtle. While he was walking and moving around doing everything, you experienced him to be a subtle angel. He was in the same physical body, but because the consciousness of his body was removed, you experienced his subtle form even though he had a physical body. So, all of you should practice this same thing while continuing to work through your physical organs. Use the power of your mind. There should be powerful vibrations filled with the love of everyone's cooperation in the atmosphere. Wherever you go, this angelic form should be visible. You are performing actions, but serving through your physical body should be balanced with serving through your mind. In the beginning, you were made to practice this while performing an ordinary task. Your stage should be so elevated that even while doing that ordinary task, your appearance is of an image granting visions. No matter that you are doing something physical like the laundry or cleaning or cooking, your stage should still remain elevated. Such a time will come in a practical way when those who see you will say, "You are such great angelic souls, and yet look at the type of the work you do is very ordinary, and yet your stage is so elevated." When the souls of the golden-aged princesses were invoked, they would be amazed to see the practical work they did before. They became that form of the future, that they are such great empresses, and yet look at what they used to do. A world emperor, yet that one is cooking. In the same way, souls who come will also say that you are there, elevated, worthy of worship deity souls, and yet you are doing this work. As you walk and move around, others will be able to have a clear vision of their special loved deity in you. At the end, they will see your worthy of worship form and also your angelic form in a practical way. The praise of Arjuna in the previous cycle was that he saw the ordinary form in the form of a friend. But on seeing the actual form of God, he asked, "Who are you? You are so elevated, and yet you have such an ordinary form of a friend." Similarly, others will have visions of you while you walk and move around. To see something through divine vision is a different matter. In the beginning, you used to see those things while walking and moving around. This is not a matter of seeing something in trance. Just as people experienced seeing Sakar Baba in this way in the beginning, so too at the end, people will see all of you in the same way. Your ordinary form will disappear, and they will see both your angelic and your worthy of worship form. In the beginning, you had visions of the angelic Brahma and of Sri Krishna at the same time. Similarly, now while looking at your ordinary form, they should not see that, but be able to see your worthy of worship form and your angelic form. However, this is only possible when you all make the effort to see but not see. Only then will all souls not see the ordinary forms of you great souls, even while looking at you, but they will have visions with their eyes open in just a second. In order to create such a stage, you have been told especially to practice seeing but not seeing and hearing but not hearing. Listen to the just one and see just one point. Do not see the expansion, but just see the essence. Do not hear all the expansion, but always hear the essence. Avyakt Murli date 4/2/1980. You have been made instruments to carry out a special task. This special task is to fill weak souls with the specialities that you have been given by the Father through your pure feelings and elevated desires. Your task is to be a constant embodiment of pure feelings and elevated desires. To have elevated feelings does not mean that you can become influenced by the one for whom you have these elevated feelings. Don't make this mistake. Sometimes, while making progress, you have been making this mistake. To become influenced by them means to become their devotee. To surrender yourself to their virtues means that you become their devotee. So, your pure feelings must be unlimited. To have a special pure feeling for especially one soul is also to be limited. There is loss in being limited, but no loss when you become unlimited. At present, the duty of you children to make weak souls powerful through your pure vibrations and the pure atmosphere you create on the basis of the powers you have attained. Do you constantly remain busy in this duty? The time for giving courses has now gone by. It is now the time to fill souls with the course of force. Many others have now been prepared to give the course. Therefore, you should concentrate on doing the service of making the atmosphere powerful, because day by day the atmosphere of the world is becoming more and more devilish. Because this is her last chance, Maya too is using all her weapons, mantras and magic. She will of course attack you. She will not bid you farewell just like that. Therefore, in the midst of such an atmosphere, you must make the atmosphere of your service places spiritual and powerful. For example, the atmosphere of the temples of the non-living idols automatically attracts all types of souls towards itself, and thus peaceless souls are able to become peaceful for a temporary period. Since there is such an atmosphere in that place of non-living idols, imagine how powerful the atmosphere should be at the service places where all of you exist in the living form. Therefore, check each day to see whether the atmosphere is powerful. Whosoever comes to you should be able to go beyond gross and wasteful things. The reason why there are still many types of obstacles and gross feelings as you move along is that your atmosphere there is still gross. When your atmosphere is spiritual, then even those who come with gross matters will change themselves. Just as they change for the short time they are in the temples of those non-living idols. However, here it is a matter of all the time, because you are in the living form whereas those are non-living idols. You must no longer just make a list of lectures and exhibitions, but also check whether your atmosphere is powerful. What is the method To make your atmosphere powerful, the method is to make spiritual endeavor for your Avyakt form. You should pay constant attention to this. You would pay attention to whatever you are making spiritual endeavor for. If you are making the spiritual endeavor of standing on one leg, your attention would be on that. So this is spiritual endeavor means to pay constant attention to tapasya. Check whether you are an Avyakt angel. If you yourself have not become this, how are you going to make others this? Avyakt Murli date 18/1/1992. Normally on this day, you go beyond sound, but you bring Bap Dada, who is beyond sound, into sound. This practice is very good. At one moment, while you may be in a lot of sound, and even if you are having a discussion in such an atmosphere, have the thought and go beyond discussion and sound in 1 second. Be able in the stage of being an angel beyond sound. One moment, be a karma yogi, and the next to be an angel. That is, be beyond sound in the Avyakt stage. It should not be that if the atmosphere is one of a lot of sound, you take time to go beyond sound. No, it should not be like this, because at the end, there will be the sound of chaos from many people and nature. It will be the atmosphere of crying out in distress, of upheaval. At such a time, the practice of being an Avyakt angel and so a bodiless soul in 1 second will make you victorious. This consciousness of remembrance will bring you into the rosary of victory. This is why this practice is essential from now on. This is known as being a conqueror of matter and a conqueror of Maya. Be a master and play the music through the lips. Be a master and listen through the ears. And if you do not wish to do this, put a full stop in a second. Not half a stop, but a full stop. This is what it means to become the same as Brahma the Father. The sign of love is to become equal. What do each one of you say? My love is greatest. You say this, do you not? If you were asked anyone whose love is greatest for Brahma, what would they think to reply? Everyone will say, mine. When it comes to love, you think your love is the greatest. Become the same in making intense effort. I want to be number one with Baba. I want to be threaded as the bead next to the dual bead. This is known as giving the return of love. Avyakt Murli date 9/1/1993. Generally in life, the basis of the stages of ascent and descent are these two aspects. One is loving feelings, bhavna, and other is intentions, bhav. If in any task you have elevated feelings for both the task and the one who is carrying out the task, then the result attained by those feelings is automatically elevated. One is to have a feeling of benevolence for everyone. The second is to have a feeling of giving love and cooperation no matter what anyone is like. The third is of constantly increasing zeal and enthusiasm. The fourth is to have a feeling of everyone belonging to you, no matter what someone may be like. The fifth is the foundation of all these, and that is the feeling of soul consciousness. These are called positive feelings. Therefore, to become Avyakt means to have all these positive feelings. Only when your feelings are the opposite of these positive feelings do corporeal feelings attract you towards themselves. The meaning of corporeal feelings is to be negative, that is, to be opposite of all these 5 aspects. You yourselves know what the opposite of these are. There is no need to speak about it. When your feelings are the opposite of these, you cannot stabilize yourself in the Avyakt stage. They are the special doors for Maya to come through. Check any obstacle that comes and you will find the reason for that. Instead of having loving feelings, you have the opposite feelings. Feelings first come in the form of thoughts, then in words, and then in actions. As are your feelings, so you will see the activity and words of others with the intention. And that is how you will listen to them and come into relationship with them. Feelings can change intentions. If at any time you have feelings of jealousy of any soul, that is, if you do not have the feeling of that one belonging to you, you will find that through every activity and word of that soul, a misunderstanding will arise. That one may be doing something good, but because your feelings are not good, you will only see bad intention in that one's activity and words. Feelings change intentions, and so check whether you have good wishes and pure feelings for all souls. Because there is a difference in understanding their intention, this misunderstanding becomes a door for Maya. In order to create the Avyakt stage, especially check your wishes and feelings, and you will easily have special experiences through the Avyakt stage. Many children remain beyond impure wishes and impure feelings. However, one is pure wishes and pure feelings. The next is wasteful wishes and wasteful feelings. And the third is ordinary wishes and ordinary feelings. Because to be a Brahmin means to have the feeling of doing service. However, even having ordinary feelings, wishes, that is the service for Brahmins. Because to be a Brahmin means to do service through feelings. So, do not cause any loss even though ordinary feelings and ordinary wishes. It means that you are not able to carry out the duty of Brahmin life, which is to do service through feelings and good wishes. This is why you will not be able to experience the special blessing of accumulating the fruit of service in Brahmin life. So transform ordinary feelings and ordinary wishes into elevated feelings and elevated wishes. If you check, you will be able to change and easily become Avyakt angels like the Father. Avyakt Murli date 18/1/1994. Do all of you experience staying beyond sound to be easy, or do you find it easy to come into the sound? What is easy, to come into sound or go beyond the sound? To go beyond sound means to experience the bodiless stage. Is it just as easy to remain bodiless as it is to have the awareness of the body? Or do you have to labor for this? You come into sound in 1 second. However, no matter how much noise there may be, either you yourself may be in sound or it may be noisy atmosphere. Are you able to apply a full stop in 1 second? Or would you only be able to apply a comma and not a full stop? To apply a full stop is known as staying in the experience of being an angel. This is the Avyakt stage, to go beyond corporeal consciousness in 1 second. For this, you have the discipline of halting the traffic throughout the whole day. Why do you do this? Sometimes your practice becomes so firm that no matter how noisy the atmosphere in all 4 directions may be, you are able to apply the brake completely. The original and eternal qualities of the soul are of peace. If you were to receive an order to stabilize yourself in your original stage in 1 second, would you be able to do this? Or would it take time? You were asked earlier also, what would happen if you wished to apply a full stop, but instead applied a question mark? Of which stage would you call this the practice? Do all of you practice the angelic stage? Do you need more practice? Or are you able to stabilize yourself with the right method in the right time that you are given? Just look at the present time. If any natural calamities arise, or any calamities due to circumstances arise, then they arise suddenly. Day by day, the elements are increasing their upheavals suddenly. These upheavals will not decrease, they will increase. Calamities arise suddenly. At such a time, you need the powers to merge and to pack up. Your intellect should not be drawn anywhere at that time. Simply Baba and I. The intellect should be stabilized wherever you wish to stabilize it. Do not raise too many questions such as what happened, how will it happen? It should not have happened like this. How did it happen? Would you call this applying the brake? You need a very powerful brake to attain the flying stage. What are you always told to check when you are ascending a hill? To check your brakes. You are going into the elevated stage, and so check your brakes again and again. You can change any thought or sanskar from negative to positive, but in how much time are you able to do this? If you are given a second to do it and you take 5 seconds, then what will happen? So you need to pay attention to the power of transformation. First of all, transform yourself, and then you will be able to transform the world. Have you become transformers of the self? First are the self transformers, and then there are the world transformers. Avyakt Murli date 25/1/1994. What was everyone's aim in this Avyakt year? In the incorporeal stage, did you experience the bodiless stage, the same as that of the incorporeal father? In practical actions, did you experience becoming like Brahma Baba, number-wise? So the basis of the special life is the special birth, the religion, and the elevated action. In Lokic life, if a soul takes birth in a special royal family as a prince or princess, then because that is the speciality from birth, she remembers this naturally and constantly, does she not? Or does she consciously have to remember again and again that she is a princess? Does she make effort to remember that she is a princess? No. She remembers this easily. The actions she performs may be ordinary because of her own interests, but does she forget the speciality of her birth? This becomes natural and part of her nature. So what is the nature of you Brahmin souls? Is it special or ordinary? Even now, when some children perform ordinary actions, what do they say in order to prove themselves blameless in front of Bap Dada? I did not wish to perform this action, But my nature is such that it therefore happened. In fact, is it right to say this or even think this? Who am I? I am one with the Brahmin life. So can souls with the Brahmin life think that that is their nature? Is it right to say this? Then why do you say it at that time? At that time it is not the Brahmin saying it, but Maya saying it. This ordinary nature or nature of Maya naturally works in that way, and you therefore say that you did not wish it, but it happened. So Brahmin nature means one should naturally have the nature of specialities. Anything that is natural remains all the time. So, should the awareness of the special life be naturally part of your nature, or should you remember it sometimes and forget it at other times? So, constantly maintain this form of awareness, not the ones who have to make effort to remember, but the ones who have this form of awareness. Therefore, Bap Dada was saying according to the time, although the Avyakt year has now finished, have you made yourself complete like Bap Dada? In this Avyakt year, you had the special aim of becoming Avyakt, which means to become angelic and also to make others the same. All of you had this aim, did you not? So, what was the result? Did you check yourself? You received the blessing of may you constantly be an angel from the bestower of blessings. So, having the awareness of both the blessing and the aim, to what extent did you experience success? Did you subtly check yourself in this way, or did you think that the Avyakt year has now finished and that whatever you experienced according to your capacity was all right according to the drama? Om Shanti.